I'm going to show you how to make vegetable buns. First I'm going to show you how to make the dough. For this recipe I'm using 700 grams of bread flour, or you can use plain all-purpose flour. Then 300 milliliters warm milk. Then I have 50 grams of sugar. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs, 50 grams butter. Then I have 16 grams dried instant yeast and 4 teaspoons of bread improver. You can buy the bread improver from the shops, or instead of using bread improver, add another 2 grams of yeast into the mix if not. To start this recipe, I'm going to put the warm milk in the mixing bowl now. Into a mixing bowl, add the warm milk, and into that add the yeast and then the sugar, and mix it and leave it about 5 minutes to activate first. Once the yeast start activating, add the flour. Into that eggs, a teaspoon of salt, and the bread improver, then the butter. I'm using margarine actually, not butter. You can use margarine or either butter or even oil. If you are using oil, measure the oil 50 grams or 50 milliliters. So I'm going to knead this about 15 minutes until it becomes a nice smooth dough, or you can mix this on a little bit and work on the bench top, but I'm going to do it 15 minutes using the machine. I knead this dough about 15 minutes now, so I'm going to take it out and put it in a greased bowl and leave it in a warm place. If you are living in a very cold area, so you can warm the oven to 30 or 40 and then put this dough in the oven for several minutes and it's done. So I'm going to put this in a very warm place now. Now I am going to show you how to do the filling for the vegetable buns. For this recipe I'm using some cabbage, nearly 2 cups, a cup of fresh spinach, then 1 capsicum, half a cup of chickpeas boiled, or you can use canned, then frozen green peas about a cup, 1 tomato, 2 large onions, 2 potatoes diced, and 2 medium-sized carrot and the green part of 1 leek, then 3 button mushrooms, then a lot of chilies. Actually you can omit this totally. And then for the spices I am using some mustard seeds and fenugreek seeds, cinnamon, curry leaves, turmeric powder, curry powder, chili powder and pepper, and a little bit of oil and salt. This is just an idea. You can adjust this according to your taste, and the vegetables you can always use the seasonal or whatever the vegetables that you like to add. But when you add lots of vegetables in one, it gives a nice taste. Not only that, if the kids they don't like to eat the vegetables, this is a really good idea of mixing all together. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil in a pan. If you like, you can add a little bit of coconut milk or cream in this recipe too. Into the hot oil add the mustard seeds and the fenugreek seeds, then the cinnamon and the curry leaves, and add the onions into that. You can add garlic a little bit if you like in this recipe too, and cook the onion about a minute. After cooking the onions a minute, add the hard vegetables like potatoes, carrot, and I'm going to add the capsicum at this stage too, and going to cook this about 5 minutes If you like, you can add a half a cup of water or just cook it slowly on, because the vegetables already contains water. After cooking several minutes, add the mushrooms and the chilies. You can always add extra if you like, and the spices, then the tomatoes, and some salt to your taste. Always salt to your taste, and cook this mix again another 5 minutes. After several minutes, add the leeks, cabbage, and cook this again another 2-3 minutes. Now into the same mix, going to add the green peas and the chickpeas, then the spinach, and cook this again another 1 or 2 minutes. Cook the curry until it has no water and a dry curry, and leave it to cool down now. After several minutes, when the dough is double in size, punch it down, and then put some flour on the bench top and take your dough onto the bench top like this. Then cut the dough into equal size pieces. So I cut the dough into 12 equal size pieces, then roll them into balls and leave it aside. Then make circles out from each ball. You can decide whatever the shape that you like to do. So take a spoonful of the mix and leave it in the middle. Then brush the edges with a little bit of water to seal the edges like this, and take edges and seal them together. So take all the edges to the top while sealing like this. Make sure that you seal the buns properly, and then just in between your palm and fingers, make nice rolls like this, leaving the edges down like this on a baking sheet again to prove until this becomes double in size. And I forgot to tell you that when you are rolling it, make sure that you leave a little lump here in the middle, because when you take all these edges, if this side is very thin, it will break from the top. So make sure always the middle is little thicker than the edges. So put the mix onto this lump. Because I put the little hot mix into the dough, it became double in size so quickly. So brush with eggs and then sprinkle a little bit of sesame seeds or poppy seeds on top like this, and bake this in 180 about 15 to 20 minutes. I finished making these beautiful vegetable buns, and I cut one to show you how it looks like, and it is really soft and crispy, and I hope you will enjoy this. Thank you for watching.